life of a booktuber or any book reviewer or author doesn't always all sweet and bubbly. They do have some cons and some darker shades of them, and today I'm going to be discussing about them. Namaste guys and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about, as the title says, authors versus booktubers or any book reviewers in general. So I was thinking about making this channel for quite an year for to mainly talk about this topic because I've come across so many experiences like this and seen some cases like this that made me want to make this video, as I wanted to tell everyone that it's not always all sweet and sugary. I have quite a few experience of mine that I want to share, but first thing is that I'm not going to name any author because that's totally off limit. I don't want to personally bash them or anything. I just want to share my experience with you all. So why most of the authors thinks that book reviewers are under them and they could tell them what to do. I'm not talking about all the authors in the world, but came across some who made me do this video. So the first experience on Instagram, that I used to follow this author, and the author was a self-published author and I quite admired their work, and matlab, I would always promote their work at every platform that I could. It's really disheartening to say this, but what that author accused me of. Yes, that author accused me of something that even I was not able to, digest that thing, and it's still a soft topic for me because that accuse was really a big thing for me. Now I have reviewed like five or six and most of the novels of that author, and to say that I was quite friendly with her. We used to always chat, and that author also used to talk to me about how to promote her books, and everything was just fine. But one day author was going to publish their new novel this year, and that author hosted a giveaway on Instagram, and that author's demand or rule was that of that giveaway was that the participants have to post the, of course, the photo, the post, and then also the caption. The caption should be as it is and it should be posted in your giveaway post and the what your feed. And I did that. I followed all the rules that author provided, requested, and I also wrote at the starting that thanks for the opportunity in big letters. And then I, after 2 or 3 stars, and then I wrote or pasted that author's caption post, and that's it. And it was the night time, and of course Indian night time and Indian standard time, and the place where the author resided time was of course different, but I don't know why that author didn't thought of that. So yep, this thing happened. I did everything, and then when I woke up the next morning, my DM was filled with messages of accusing me. The first message was like, please can you mention that this post was mine and you are only participating. It was like on 12 or 1 a.m. at that time of the night time, and I was of course sleeping. And then after just 1 hour, it's like, why are you not answering my messages? I thought we were friends. Please message me. That was on 1, and then again 2 or 3. I've talked to many people. Please stop stealing my content. Yes, the word she used was stealing. And I just, after reading that word, I was quite shocked at how could that author accuse me of stealing her post when, and I told her that I already wrote the thing that's thanks for the opportunity and tagged that author and everything, but still I was accused of stealing. And to say that I was that author came into one of my favorite author category. What that author said after that was even more foolish to me, as that author wrote that I thought we were friends, I thought you were really good of my friends, and I didn't accept you to do this. And I was like, what the hell did I even do? I That was really worst experience for me. Now I don't follow that author anymore, because accusing of stealing is really a big thing. And even when you didn't do that, I don't know what people did she talk about me, and how could those people even think that I was stealing the content even after seeing the post? How can be they're so blind about that thing? So this was my first experience and the worst experience. And now the second experience is again on the Instagram, and that also is quite sad as a book reviewer in general. I'm again not going to name that author or anything, but that was not a good experience. So this author contacted me on Instagram and wanted me to review their book, and they just asked me if I do video reviews, and I was like, yeah, I do. And they said, would you like to do mine too? And I was like, as in review copy, or are you offering me a review copy? And they didn't know what that meant, so I kind of explained that what the review copy is, and they said, all right, I'll send you one. And but you know about my book for long, as we have already chatted before. And that author asked me, if you're going to talk about my book on your video, but how are you going to talk about just little info? So I told that author that of course I'm going to tell them I knew about your book from the very start, and I was quite excited to read that book because the reviews are good, but my reviews are going to be totally unbiased and honest. So that author was quite pleased, but then that author messaged me something that was totally weird, and I quite didn't understand that thing. That author asked me that the review should be unbiased in my perspective, but it shouldn't affect the book's marketing. Yeah, I didn't understand that statement at all. So after a lot of thinking, I wrote that it I can't do anything about that. How can I do anything about books marketing? I'm going to be doing my review. I'm going to do my job. I'm doing my hobby. I'm doing a book review. I need to be unbiased and honest. But I don't know how it's going to be affect a book marketing. I can't do that. So I just wrote that I can't do anything about that. And if you want, it's always your choice. You can opt in and out to send me a book. And that irked that author. He said I was plainly harsh and rude, and I didn't understand why I was being called rude, but just because I said the thing, I was honest. I then wrote, I didn't reply that I just said the thing. I don't know how to reply to that any other way. But if you think I'm being rude, please, I'm really sorry. Then there was like, okay, thanks, God bless you kind of thing. And then I talked to some people that if I'm being rude, and they said that I was quite thankful to that people, that yeah, you were not rude, that made me have a little confidence in me, because I was just thing happened. But now the misunderstanding is kind of cleared. I talked to the author again, and well, it's somewhat clear, but that experience was not good at all. As a book reviewer, I thought I didn't know how to answer to that question other than that way. Now I don't know about other reviewers, foreign reviewers, but I could totally talk about Indian reviewers. from my experience, I could talk that Indian reviewers, book reviewers, are taken for so much granted. I've gone to many book events and talked to authors about how they think of book reviewers, and their answers were never up to the mark and never satisfying. I was never satisfied with their answers because it was like they were just trying to change the topic. That's what it was. And I think last year Durjoy Datta and one more author, Suman Roy, talked about book reviewers in a, well, I didn't like the way they talked about the reviewers on World Book Day. I don't know, I don't remember where they talked about it. They talked about it in an interview from a press, a newspaper or kind of magazine. I kind of like searched where it was but didn't get the post. I had the screenshot of that thing, but not about the nothing about where it was interviewed. So I'm just going to tell you the word to word things that they say. Okay, the thing is like the Joy Datta said once, it is just one more platform to market the book, but asks, does it have sales more movie tickets? Yep, movie tickets just because an actor is on social media. Now I don't know what he meant by that, if he was mocking us or that was totally annoying. Like, how can you compare it like that? The movie tickets are selling because of a actor is on social media. Of course, it do create some hype as the actor is already popular on social media. But if you don't want, you don't want. Now, and another author, that is Suman Roy, she echoes the same word. I'm only naming this author because they're already being named. They have done the interview worldwide, so there's no problem to name them, I hope. Echoes the statement that posts about books on social media fill me with two irrelevant emotions. They remind me of a moment in cultural history, such as a series of paintings of 200 years of the woman reading and what it might say about us. These photos are all part of a growing archive of the common reader, but they are empty in that we have no sense of how the reader is reading. Now, the main thing that she said and I didn't like at all. I watch a lot of food programs on YouTube. I don't look any of these things I watch. I don't cook them being cooked. I just watch them being cooked. This book's related post sometimes reminds me of that. Now, how can cooking be same to reading? I don't understand. I've watched many dog videos. I've watched many cat videos. Should I stop watching them? Should I? I've watched many books read by other people. So should I stop that? I should really stop reading because I am not reading that book. Yep, there are so many counterparts of this topic. So this is basically about authors versus book reviewers, as I still am not at a conclusion of what to think of that, because many authors that I've met, of course, many authors, the ratio of many authors who are sweet and like just they are too easy to talk with, and the author who make me want to just no, big no. A ratio of them is like this and this, but still I wanted to talk about them because I've seen so many Twitter feeds too, and some publishing companies too talking about reviewers like, oh, they are just reviewers and they do need to have a followers count and everything. It was like, your books are not going to sell in a day one. You need to promote them. You are not going to sell book in a single day because you are okay. We have a lot of new publishing companies and new authors coming out every day, but we are not talking about them like that. We always support them. So why some publishing companies and authors are targeting us like that? I don't like hearing that these people have no followers count and anything, that's why we are not signing them. That's just plain stupid in my context. Now, of course, this thing can be said in the both ways, that some book reviewers are also rude to the authors, and some book reviewers are also have their heads up in the sky. But I don't know much about their cases. I'm talking about mine, what I've experienced. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about anyone else. I'm just talking about myself, and that's what I've experienced, and that's what I have talked about today. I hope it was not taken too hard by anyone, because this is just my experience. Let me know in the comment sections if you have had any of this kind of experience with authors or a book reviewers. Authors are also invited. This was a lot for today. So yeah, goodbye till the next video.